listening to 89.1 WIDRFM.
Welcome, everybody, back to the ESBN. That's the Electronic Sports Bronco News Network here. Right now, this is episode 3, and today I've got some members of the Western Michigan Varsity League of Legends teams with me here. So I guess the way we can frame this with some openings really quick here. I forgot to mention, this show's on 89.1 WIDRFM. Always got to shout out WIDRFM. So give some frame to the introductions. Go ahead, just say name, tag, what your position is, and I guess what your major is. So I guess want to start first on the left.
I'm Alexis. My tag is Black Sheep, and I'm a psychology major.
Okay.
My name's Jay. I'm a Calyx Frost, or the Coin Flipper, and I'm a digital marketing and e-commerce major.
My name is Aiden. My tag is Mechi. I'm a computer science major, and I'm known for the #1 Quesante in North America.
Yeah, let's go.
Is it Mechi actually, or is it Meki?
It's both.
It's both.
It doesn't matter.
Okay, because I do want to shout out Brigadier Bronco, our local Western sports influencer. This goes on. He's a big fanatic. We just got looped into the weekly sports roundup, and he called you Mechi on it. So
formerly it's Meki.
Formerly Meki.
The grammatically correct way to say is Meki.
Okay,
but to the boys.
To the boys, it's Mechi.
Everyone Meki from there. So yeah, I guess we can dive a little further on that one. So my first question is, where'd your tags come from? And I guess if you want to take us down the history of if it was something before, what it evolved into now, I guess we can run it back and go.
It's really not that deep, but I guess if we go way back, I was making my Xbox Live account with my grandpa when I was about 11 years old, and he made up the name Mecha Mule, which I thought was the coolest thing ever. And just a couple of years ago, my friends and I, we would add like the IE to all of our names.
Yeah.
So instead of Mech, it'd be Meki, and so on. So for Bluefin, it would be maybe Bluey. I don't know. Something random.
Yeah,
something random.
sure.
So I just thought it was funny, and I stuck with it.
It's like, like in high school, like football, I feel like all the football players, that's just all they would call each other. Like if your last name was like Smith, they'd be like, hey, Smithy. Like something like that.
Yeah.
Like that was
like
it,
abbreviations for each other. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like it.
Mine came into existence the day before I originally tried out for the club team. Back in 2021, I think it would be now. Mm-hmm. It was the day before tryouts. I decided I was going to go and try out. And I was like, okay, I probably shouldn't go to tryouts with the name LolGamer69. And I was like, all right, what can I do? And I'm like, okay, something that starts with an A and something ends in an X. That sounds cool. So I just figured out a Calyx, and then I just like added Frost onto it because sounded like a cool last name, and then I could just use that as my online name for things.
Okay, all right.
Calyx Frost sounds kind of like one of those like Kahoot names they give you on Kahoot.
Yeah.
It's like a random word generator.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So mine is like short. It's like Black Sheep. The full one is like Black Sheep Wall, and that was a StarCraft hack.
Oh,
it was a cheat code
yeah.
with it, and it would let you see like the everything on the map. And that I chose that because I used to like watch a lot of StarCraft, like in the professional scene, because my dad was really interested in it, and that's how we would bond. And then in high school, when I was like starting to play League more, one of my other friends was like, "Oh yeah, I like used to play and watch a ton of StarCraft," and I was like, we should like change our name to the cheats they had. And then I chose like Black Sheep, and he was like, "Show me the money."
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
All right. That's really
epic.
cool. I was going to say, I didn't know that. That is cool. I mean, shout out to parents involved in esports. So that's good. I mean, honestly, I don't think we've had like a ton of StarCraft interest around. So I'm for the StarCraft. We were talking earlier about things that make you feel older and stuff. And that was one of those things whenever I come here, and like we used to have StarCraft on all the PCs at the arena, and everyone was just like, why do we have StarCraft on this? I'm like, I like StarCraft. So like, it was pretty fun. So
When I feel really old, I peaked back in like 2014 or so on my StarCraft rank. I peaked in like low diamond, high plat. I was in middle school.
Yeah, it's middle school. Yeah, I just went crazy on the Age of Empires 4 ladder. It was like the most recent RTS stuff.
I was an Age of Empires
did,
2 enjoyer.
Yeah, it was so much fun. But awesome. Yeah, thanks for that so much. So, yeah, I guess now that we've got introductions and stuff out of the way, really quick. So, team is 3-1 right now to start off the ESC MAC conference season right now. So I guess just kind of a group question, how's the team going internally? And did you expect to start, this strong?
It's probably gonna look a little bit worse after tomorrow.
Don't say that.
I'm just being real. We're playing against Ball and they are looking terrifying. But beyond that, honestly, I'm very happy with how we started out. Like, going into it, there was that bit of concern of just like we weren't doing great in scrims, and there's that concern of just something's not going to mesh and we're just going to like get owned by like a bottom seed school, and it's like, oh, if we lose that, probably going to lose our mentals. We're probably going to be like, oh, well, we suck. But then we just kind of owned them, and then
we put our head in the game.
Yeah,
we were ready.
We've done
mentally.
really well with having like really good mental fortitude in the games. Me and Aiden just like, we do not stop cooking.
Yeah,
we do not stop looking.
We're always thinking of ideas. Yeah. We could be like I forgot what school is it. It was Ohio the other week.
11K down.
We were 11K down, like 16 kills down or something like that. And Jay and I were just cooking up ideas, man. Like, and I said,
just fight.
Screw you guys. I'm gonna go farm in the bot line for 20 minutes. He taught us some ideas.
Game? That was a Camille game, right? Where you just absolutely like popped off.
Yeah. Honestly, the stuff I did in that game, I didn't even know I could do that. Yeah. It was all new to me, so it was really cool.
Yeah,
that was great.
Yeah, from the booth perspective, you're all 100% a game day team. That is very true. That when game day comes around, it's time to show up. So yeah, I mean, I guess the internal environment's been kind of all over the place. I know, like there was a lot of people going in and out of the team. The team is brand new this semester as well. So I mean, what's it like? Do you feel like you have any expectations for that? Coming in to be the new team, or are you just trying to play your game?
Everybody looks at me for that.
I
guess I am the person who's been on the team the longest. So coming in from last semester, it was, coming into last semester, I should say, coming into fall, it was sort of seen as a bit of a rebuilding season because we lost a D1 top laner, a Masters who could have been higher jungler, consistent AD carry, and we had our really good mid laner swapping role. So we basically just completely remodeled the team, and then even the fifth player that we had that was consistent for that point, which was our support, ended up not playing in the spring. Mm-hmm. So we had every single role has a different player than it did last year in the CLOL. So the expectations for us are honestly like, if we can go even and take a couple games off of teams above us, that is seen as good, because it's not something that I don't think anybody really expects us to do, like an insane deep run. Like, I don't think that the expectations for us are as high as they were for last year's team or the year before that. But I think that we all would like to be able to outperform our expectations and try to make like a deeper run. And I think that we all probably have the same goal of playoffs.
Yeah, for sure.
The first half of the year, I feel like Birdie and Zach, our coach, he just kind of wanted to like experiment with the team. He gave us like 3 or 4 different comps to play with, and over the last few months, he's just been kind of seeing like what we perform the most on. And this spring, with our new support, seamless transition, Black Sheep and Sergio, our old support, very good players, slightly different play styles, but she's been able to fit in the team very well.
Slightly different.
Yeah.
Complete opposite.
I didn't want to say that. Just a little bit different.
Yeah. Sergio's the most unhinged engaged support player I've ever met in my life. And
just like tank engage support versus like mage support.
The 4-man wall flash engage. Never gonna forget that game.
5-man flash into Swain. It's our team.
I'm never going to forget the game where we were scrimming and we talked about if it was the right decision. It wasn't, but it worked because Apes Together Strong.
Yep.
Where we were in the top side or top river mid bush, and he said, "Oh, we can look here," and like 3 of us flashed the wall, and we just like all jumped on him, and because Sergio was just like looking nonstop, and that was like one of the wildest forces that we've ever done.
Yeah, I saw that play. That was hilarious.
That play, it should not have worked, but it did because we just all did it.
Yeah.
I mean, like, who expects that, though?
Yeah, nobody expects the 3-man flash engage from over the wall.
Yeah.
Over no objective.
Yeah, crazy plays. So I guess to kind of jump from that, talking about how your play style is like totally different, I guess, than the last supports coming in through. So would you think like the meta is kind of favorable for how you all play right now? And I mean, is that like indicative of your success, or is you feel you're more flexible than what the team's showing right now?
I feel like right now it's just like a bot lane meta with it, especially with like enchanter supports and stuff. And I don't really know about every other lane because I just mainly focus on bot lane with it. But I think, just like Karma is like really good. And that's what I've been mainly playing, like Lux and like other things. There's like a lot of poke or like shields or like other things they can provide.
The meta is constantly changing too. Just this recent patch, 13.3, engage melee supports are back in the pool. Yeah. So it'd be very cool if you could pick up some Alistar and Braum. That'd be very cool. Yeah.
I mean, like, I know Alistar is told, like, you have to ban Silas or else, like, you can't pick Alistar with it.
Yeah, I think Zach would blow up if you started.
It's a massive Zach pet peeve because it comes back to, because I know Sergio would always be like, yeah, just like pick me Allie early. And Zach's like, no, because Zach is like a Silas main. And that's like in his brain every time in draft of just like, we cannot do this.
We have solo lost multiple scrims because we early picked an alley and they just rip the Silas instantly.
I guess so to give some context too, because you have to remember this is going to be playing on radio where I guess everyone and stuff. So we're talking a different language that I think we got to break down a little bit. I guess the best way to explain this is one of the characters essentially can take another character's ability, and that character can just has a 50% damage reduction ability that just makes them
like
just
10
an
seconds.
unkillable tank that just makes them a monster. And imagine if you give that, to a character that normally doesn't do a lot of damage to someone that does an insane amount of damage. And it's really scary when that happens. So super high win rates for sure.
I would say one thing with the meta is I think this is a really good meta for us because we have the ability to play aggressive bot laners with enchanter supports. I think if we needed to, we could be a flexible team, and like we've always been pretty good at skirmishing topside 2v2, but if that was the meta, it would definitely really have to change what we do as our main play style, because we mainly do play top island and try to get early dragons and get bot ahead. Yeah. We'd have to completely change that. We'd be putting AD carry on something safe with enchanter or engage roaming support, who'd be basically just like going on like adventures with me in the enemy jungle in topside as we're looking for the 15th dive on the enemy top laner.
Yeah, for sure. How do you feel about top island, Aiden? Are you enjoying your stay out there? You have like a timeshare or something?
It's really fun when I'm winning, but it feels even worse when I'm losing. Because I just have to sit there and cry and mope and do nothing until my team maybe gets a quadra kill the bot lane. I just have to sit there.
Yeah, I will say I love watching your mental in scrims because like I will just see like 3 people diving you topside, no chance you get out of. There's no way, like just like in the worst spot, wave crashing, everything's going.
Like it's either
and
I
you're
lose,
just like it's fine. They lose. It's like it's not worth it for them. And like it's good. Just bounce.
It's either
back.
I lose a whole cannon wave or I die. So as greedy as I am, I like to stay, but it doesn't work out very well.
Yeah, and then while that's going on, bot just got their first tower.
And I scream and I get so excited when I see my bot lane just get 2 towers in the bot line. They're at their nexus, and I'm getting dove top. Like, what are they doing, man?
Yeah, weak side top is more of a cheerleader than anything.
Yeah, I'm like the mascot.
Yeah, the mascot in the top lane. I'm just like, let's go, team. I'm under my inhibitor getting dove for like the 4th time at 10 minutes. Let's go. Yeah, please help. We're going to lose the game.
Let's go, but please help me.
One bomba. So we don't get a kill, I am never returning.
I guess so translating some of those frustrations, we can jump to the next question. And I will take a page out of the Overwatch interviews I did last episode, and I'll pose the question to y'all. So I guess we can start. Sheep, if you want to take this one first, is you can delete 1 champion from the game. Who's gone?
It's so difficult. There are so many characters. I mean, like, I think everyone would usually say Yuumi, but I don't really care. Like, I'm a support. I like playing Yuumi. Like, I can do whatever I want. Like, while playing Yuumi, like, I can just like watch a movie or like read or do anything like that. So Yuumi doesn't bother me, but I hate Master Yi because I feel like my teammates don't understand sometimes that you have to CC him.
Yeah, if you've never played against like a good funnel like Tarek Yi, like you learn some new hatred
Yeah.
for Master Yi.
Or Aphelios, because like I'll either enemy Aphelios will like know what to do and be like the epitome of like the best Aphelios player ever, and then my Aphelios be like, what does my gun do?
For sure.
Enemy
Those are good ones,
Aphelios
so.
runs the Wolfram Alpha equations to figure out the optimal setup. Your Aphelios. Ooh, colors.
Yeah.
Reading War and
Aphelios mains do
Peace.
like calculus in the background. I swear they have like a huge notepad just writing stuff down.
I mean, like Aphelios is great, but then the problem is you're so dependent on like cycling your guns properly.
Yeah.
'Cause if there's a fight and you have the wrong guns, you're just like
Yeah,
you're out of the game.
It's Chuck. So, all right, Jay, what about you? Who are you getting rid of?
I'm still processing the fact that she chose those two when I've been like dueling with her for months, and she always is like talking about how much she hates Vladimir and Zed. Like
Yeah.
she'll see a
Okay,
Zed pick.
I don't need to deal with that anymore.
a Zed, no. But
I don't need to deal with Zed. I'm in support. When
I'm
I
a
was
big
mid
Zed-
lane,
I'm a
that
big
was
Zed
like the
player.
worst thing
Yeah.
ever.
so I would probably pick either Yumi because I think it teaches bad habits.
Yeah.
Ramus.
Ram is interesting.
I hate that character.
You know, that character has been picked one time in pro play,
Yeah.
in LCS at least. Yeah.
Hate Ramus with a passion. Or Nunu.
Nunu. Oh, I know there is some
Nunu
deep
I
hatred for Nunu
despise
that, yeah.
because his Q is a smite that's bigger than smite. So he's literally just he can just on a 8-second cooldown outsmite anything just because he's quirky like that.
Clearly
And
a
he
skill
has
issue.
a massive snowball that he can build AP and just one-shot someone while moving at the speed of like a race car at the same time. And then he can get rise ulted on top of you while ulting, and then he just did 3,000 damage
Yeah,
casually. He's chill like that.
But he's so cute.
It's pretty adorable. And so he does
Yeah.
a 3K smite on a Baron, and your team's like, why didn't you stop that? I'm like, what do you want me to do? Yeah.
Or all of a sudden you start walking really slow by a bush.
Yeah.
I mean, Echo can do the same thing without smite. So I don't know what's more broken,
That's
Echo
true.
or
What do you All right, so is Echo your pick, or is
no, Fiora.
Yeah.
Remove Fiora from the game. I've been permabanning her for the last 2 years. She destroys all my champions. Useless. I
Kind of
hate her.
skill issue
issue.
there. Yeah.
She's not even that good of a champion
I
competitively.
agree.
People just do it to bully you. That's like their sole purpose.
I
in split
agree.
push.
I
Like, that's
hate
boring.
the coin flip passive. I think it's one of the most
It's-
obnoxious
it's RNG.
abilities to
It's an
play
RNG
against the deck. Yeah, I know you're over there, Jay. I'm like,
Says he
coin
hates the
flipping, that's the name of my game, but
Yeah, that's literally on one of my jerseys.
yeah, it's rough.
Jay, I don't know why you're not manning Fiora jungler right now. Just coin flip the passive.
Fiora
man.
top is my main when I play top.
Okay. Well, I know who I'm never letting play
We
top.
gotta see the 1v1 now.
It's so rough.
And a
GP 1v1, I have PTSD.
best Cassante NA versus Fiora.
Well, Fiora wins.
player.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I could be faker. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'd honestly join you on the Fiora one. I mean, I think like mine, I honestly for a while think it was Alawi, just because I think like Alawi is really frustrating because the lane is just hit E or lose, and like
Yeah.
it's really unfun to play against. Because if she hits it, you're like, gotta
And
go.
you
like,
can't
and you're-
gank her.
No,
So as a
yeah.
top laner, you're kind of stuck with her. It's like you're in a permanent Mord alt.
Yes,
with Alawi.
yeah.
So
Yeah, Alawi's rough too, but I think Fiora.
What
is
about
definitely-
York top? Like,
York players are.
He's a Sigma
respect-
champ.
Yeah,
He's
he's
cool.
I really,
No,
we respect
absolutely
He does what he
York
pleases.
players,
Do you
yeah.
remember the scrim last semester that we played against the York and we just lost because he was just in the side lane forever? It didn't matter.
He's so cool because of that. I
or
look up
Ed
to him.
Scion, when that was like a
just
big thing.
in
He's like,
his lane, clear skin, vibing, unbothered, just split
Flourishing.
pushing.
sends the
Awesome.
maid on top. He goes once for a dragon, gets a penta.
The maiden solos
Yeah,
me.
I'll see you at the Nexus, maiden. Yeah. Go from there, but okay, cool. Those are some solid answers for that one. So I guess one thing, as I guess more of an intro thing, because I think this is how people define, like when you started playing League. Like, what was your login screen that you started playing the game on?
I think my login screen was so I saw the KDA Pop Stars video on YouTube back in 2018. I thought, hey, this is pretty
Started playing
cool.
in 2018.
Yeah, and
Wow. Yeah.
I'm kind of new. I don't know when you started, Trevor.
I think Zach was the login screen when I started playing. That was in like 24. No, it was 2013.
Wow.
I think.
I
Yeah.
remember the Zach login
Yes,
screen.
yeah.
That came out
Before
in
that,
2013.
Game came out in 2010. I think is when League came
Wow.
out. Yeah. So
Yeah, I started in like 2021. I don't even remember. I've seen like Zach, Vi. I think I remember the Ari one. Like I remember so many
Kaiser.
of the. I remember the ancient texts. Like I remember the old client. I remember horrible UIs. I remember old runes.
It didn't get much better.
Oh man.
Did it?
It really changed.
Just looks a little
client
nicer.
hasn't updated. It just crashes more.
Yeah, but
I think I saw the KDA video and it's like, oh, that's like cool.
Yeah.
wow,
That video got popular. Like,
So you know how you said don't dunk on Zoomers? I'm gonna dunk on both of these Zoomers right now.
rocks, Jay. All right,
No,
I'm not
but,
gonna
like,
stand for this.
you know, like, it
KDA
just
rocks,
comes up.
but they're both Zoomers.
True.
I mean, you know, I wouldn't be addicted to League if it weren't for it wasn't for KDA. So you gotta thank KDA, or else you know, I'd be actually a productive member of society.
Yeah, are you sure you want to be thanking
calling
them
us
right
all
now?
out.
Yeah, I'm for like all the Riot Music productions because I'm done with the like more Pentakill, less KDA. Like, I'm sorry, that opinion sucks. Like, both of them, more of them. I want both more. Like, get just all the smoke, more of it. But I guess quick, what's favorite Riot Music? You got really quick blitz this one.
True Damage was really cool.
True Damage rocks.
I mean, the
Blood
music
Moon
was
Gym
good.
theme.
But
Blood Moon Gym theme. I'm all for
okay,
the
that was
orchestral
good.
stuff too. So
Braum theme song.
Braum theme rocks. That
Braum
one is
theme.
good.
Volibear theme song, the rework.
Yeah, with all like the
Yeah.
humming
And
and
Pantheon
stuff.
too. Oh
Yes.
my, two best
Gangplank
reworks
theme.
ever.
And you've heard Casante's theme. I think
Yes.
Casante's theme goes crazy.
unbelievable.
It's got like the 808s and like the drums and
When
stuff.
I one tricked
It is
them out, that was
insane.
on repeat. Bro. That's how I won my games.
Yeah, that,
Pride of Kalamazoo.
yeah, the Pride of Kalamazoo. I love that
line
nickname.
is such
so
a
Their
good
music
much.
is so good though.
Yeah.
Like for all the different like Nautilus
Yes.
sounds so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
And then it's like their balance team. I
Yeah,
don't know what
yeah.
they're doing, like
Well,
coin flipping.
Little different there, but I think my favorite champ theme is I love Camille's. I think because I'm really impartial because I love Grimdark as like like a fantasy like aesthetic and and I love Dishonored as like one of my favorite
yeah.
game
Oh,
series.
you
So
just
like
same vibe.
yeah,
Vibe.
exact
The
same
same
stuff
vibe.
in Piltover, and her
Yeah.
theme is so good.
yeah.
Like there is someone just with a cello just on fire.
And
like,
the Jin
ripping
cinematic
that.
with Camille.
Yes,
them fighting,
yes.
So cool.
That was like my phone background for like 2
yeah,
years
yeah.
when she's doing like
Yeah,
the
she's,
sweep,
like, sweeping
and he's
down
doing
from
the
the
bow
stage.
and stuff. Like
It's
it's
so
so yeah, that one rocks.
All their
so.
cinematics are good except for the most recent one where
okay,
it was
yeah.
like, you know, you saw Invisible Twitch, Invisible
Oh
Island,
yeah, the
Teemo
2023
standing
cinematic.
still.
That was weird.
Yeah, it was
Tell me
weird,
if I'm yoinking a question, but I'm curious. What was everybody's favorite song from Arcane?
Okay,
I
that's
haven't
a
seen
good
it.
one.
Yeah, I'm so
right,
sorry,
could
guys.
you?
Watch
Maybe
party.
We can do a watch party.
We're gonna mandate that over solo queue.
Okay.
So my favorite song from Arcane. Are you saying the score or like the soundtrack?
Either.
The score is like the orchestral stuff. I'm
Either.
a huge soundtrack nerd, so I won't. I won't time
Either
this.
one.
Is it Our Love? That song's so good. That's like that's the one that I think plays at like the end of one of the episodes.
Yeah, that one
when,
plays at the end of
like,
like I believe episode 2 or 4.
something like that one, but like that song is like so pretty and it's in such like a like a really old classic soul style song, and it's really good. Either that or Dynasties and Dystopias from the bridge fight with Echo and Jinx. That goes crazy.
The music video for Dynasties Dystopias I think was my favorite, but I think my favorite sound wise was What Could Have Been.
Okay, that one's good.
That's my favorite.
I really gotta
like
watch it
both of
now.
yours are really,
Ah,
both of yours are really good, but that one like was my favorite one.
I went to a Sting concert when I was like 10.
Nice.
So I was so happy when I saw Sting in the soundtrack there. I was like,
Yeah. My favorite.
I can't wait for season 2.
Yeah.
like, I'm
I know.
so-
season 2?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
probably
it was huge.
Eventually.
We gotta all watch Arcane
Yeah.
one day instead of
Yeah.
like practice or like a scrim or something.
Yeah.
Just like watch Arcane.
So it's totally worth it. I was talking with our coordinator Tavian about it, and like, cause someone was asking him of like, what do you think is like the best like like video game movie or like adaptation? I'm just like,
Easily.
it's Arcane.
It's
Like
not even close.
The only things I can think of like close to now is like the new Last of Us show is pretty insane so far, is really good,
Mm-hmm.
but like. There's a lot of video game movies and TV shows that are
and
bad.
that's going off of a Telltale game, isn't it? So
Yeah,
like, that's,
exactly.
like,
Cheating.
yeah, that's cheating. That's half a that is a story game
it's
basically.
true. But-
I think the whole thing with like just League of Legends in general, like they have so much good lore,
Mm-hmm.
and they chose like one part of it, and there's just like so many other things that they can do like right now, and I'm really excited because I want them to explore like other regions.
I read they actually are in some kind of development for like an MMO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will be
saw-
quitting League of Legends.
Yeah, we're gonna transition the team over to the MMO
Yeah.
side.
Yeah,
So
the league team will be
Yeah,
gone.
excited.
unfortunately, me and Alex will be retiring from League of Legends competitive play when that comes out.
and WoW.
Yes, I'll finally break my subscription.
I mean, like the MMO, like I don't think is going to be out for like a couple years.
Oh, it'll be a while.
Yeah.
Because like because I've been keeping track because like I'm graduating this year, so I'm LinkedIn Riot feeds for jobs and stuff. I'm always scoping that,
cool.
and so they did a huge hiring wave last year for the MMO of like getting like everybody from like marketing to like
It tends to be about 2
wow.
years
art,
out.
software engineering, stuff like that. And if we're following the same track of what they did with Valorant for that, they hired everyone for Valorant in like 20.
It was a while ago.
18, 20, like 19. I mean, they probably did like a ton of internal moving overs because they've been working on the game for like way longer
almost a
than
decade,
that.
right?
Yeah.
But like they kick it into overdrive probably like once the game is like they have an idea and they want to make
The
it.
world building like is already kind of
Done,
concrete.
yeah, exactly.
You just gotta do all the deving and
You have to
kinda
do a
just-
lot of world building still, though. 'cause,
yeah, I guess to
MMOs
fit them in.
I've been playing World of Warcraft like since my earliest memories. Unironically, some of my earliest memories are like sitting on my dad's lap watching him play.
Yeah.
So I've always been huge on MMOs, and I think that them having Ghost Crawler will probably help a lot with this. But the biggest thing that'll determine if it lives or dies is how fleshed out they have the world be. Like, do they just have like, okay, you can go to Ionia City, you can go to Piltover, you can go to Zaun, and that's like all there is? Or will they have little
Like open world?
little towns here? It's
Yeah.
gonna be open world. It's an MMO. It has to be.
Yeah.
I think they 100%. I mean, I trust that. Like, listen, you can have your thoughts about Valorant, but like Valorant is knocking out of the park as far as like esports standards go. Like that game is crazy.
Their
It's-
lore is great too. Like the
yeah.
cinematics and other stuff they have. They're doing like so much better in lore than I think like some of League.
Yeah, like I think League is definitely like. League I think also has like we've reached kind of like critical mass on like League lore where like we have a world, we have confines, we kind of have to stay within that and like tell new stories and stuff within it, which is hard because like now champions are coming from like regions and stuff. So like when things come from regions, you're like, oh, same old song dance. I've seen that before. But
and then
like,
you have to like link them all together.
Yes, yeah.
It's like a huge spider web.
Yeah,
It's
or-
like
Yeah.
clogging up.
It's because like we're this close to like a League cinematic universe, getting
or
there.
some type
It's-
of show other than
yeah.
Arcane.
Arcane,
Like maybe
yeah,
like
I
a
was
Let's
different.
say, buddy.
I don't know why I said that. 'Cause
So
I haven't
yeah, I guess because we can keep rolling on this. I think we could talk about this for the whole podcast, but I guess just to close it, as far as like League lore stuff goes, Arcane got the show. I think Jinx and Vi is the most like prolific storyline in League. What's like a story that's not you wish gets the same effort at, like or something gets a show like Arcane, or at least a champion, at least
I
something we're gonna
love
see.
I love the Noxus Demacia like dynamic, like the God King event.
Yes.
I thought the lore was really cool because it was like in the near future when like the whole world was like in like war, and it was like Demacia and Noxus, the two like world powers going at each other. I love the lore. The aspect lore, like Pantheon, I think Bard, Pantheon, all those like really like high power beings going at it. I think, I don't know, there's just so many like different types of groups of like lore I could just go on, like Yasuo Zed, or so many like the cinematics. If they just expanded on the cinematics they made so far, I don't know. There's just so much. There's so much. I could go on about it for a long time.
Yeah. What about you, Jay?
So imagine you have this huge, beautiful world, and you have an existential threat to this world that is slowly conquering it all.
The Void?
Killing everyone, slaying everyone.
the Void.
No. I'm a Viego main.
Oh yeah.
Imagine you have such a
Illumination.
you have such an amazing story concept, and then because you run out of time, you just butcher the ending of it, and you absolutely
Yeah. What
do
do
they
my
do to
boy
it?
dirty, and you make one of the coolest villain characters in the entire League universe into a cringe e-boy sim.
What happened again? What do they do to the ending again?
They just like completely butchered and rushed it, and like didn't include all sorts of stuff that had been getting built up in the actual event. Like, it was just so disappointing because it's like it's built up to be this huge thing. It's meant to be this super cool ruination event, and then everybody thought it sucked.
Yeah, I will say, like, I think it got really rushed with, like I like Akshan's character aesthetics, but, like, him just, like, showing up and just, like, solving everything. You're like,
Yeah, like what? Who's this guy?
Who is this guy?
This guy the new Ezreal?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think another comment about Auction when he came out was like, God, another dude with like no shirt on,
Yeah.
with like a six pack, and they're like,
Classic, yeah.
I mean, like I was fine with that, but one of my friends was like, "Where's my Darkin?"
Cool.
Yeah, then we got
the
Udyr.
honesty.
Yeah, we got Udyr. Dude's
Dad.
yoked and is built like a bear.
Yeah.
Do you know about their comics? The comics they
Yeah,
have
they did with
it?
Marvel. And like it was like Ash and
So they had
Trendemir?
Ash
Yeah, that was-
Trendemir,
yeah.
they had Zed, Shen, and then they
Yes,
had
yeah.
Lux. I love those comics. Those were like so good. I think if they could just continue doing the comics, but with different characters. Like, you know, there are so many different characters that they could use with that. I think it would be really cool to follow them. I think one that they should do is Kiana, because like I don't think
Yeah.
that much is known about like Ishtal with it. And I think expanding on that would be so cool because they're supposed to be like super advanced, but they think like the whole world is basically like corrupted and destroyed by the void. So I
Yeah.
think like
Kesante comic when?
Yeah, because his
Kazuma.
cinematic was so cool. But yeah.
I'm gonna dunk on your comment earlier of saying that Yorick was a Sigma because another reason I hate Yorick. He gets his maiden, Viego doesn't. It's just unfair.
don't worry, she stabbed him.
Unfair indeed. I guess to close that, I think the one I'd want to see is I was such a huge fan of the Bilgewater lore event they did in like 2016.
when they killed Gangplank.
Yes, when they killed
That was sick.
Riot does not like they can't do that anymore, but I thought that was hilarious. That they're like the in-game client notification because you
Gangplank
didn't
is
play that.
dead.
It just said Gangplank is dead. He's not available anymore. You just can't play him. And they released
That's
the rework
crazy.
like a few days later. But like the story with like Twisted Fate and Graves, like Gangplank, Misfortune, and all that stuff. Like it's so cool. I love pirates, and so I
Yeah,
just gotta
that's really
I
cool.
gotta see what that'd be good. But all right, well I guess we gotta table that because we could go for hours. I think
Yeah,
just
we gotta
on League
put it away.
cinematic stuff. But yeah, so I guess rolling through. Just jumping back, let's just switch topics over to some pro play stuff. So, I'm assuming most of you watch, pro play here and
little
there.
bit, yeah.
Say some of it around, or have watched it for some time. So, did you not watch? Did you start watching pro play once you started playing, or did you not till later?
I think I only started watching pro play. Like, the first time I watched it was like the 2019 Worlds. So it was about a year after I started playing, and it just was so confusing to me because I was still like a bronze level player. I'm like, what are these guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Why don't they just
So-
kill them?
Yeah, like, why aren't they going on them? Like, you have Flash, man. Just go.
Yeah, just kill them, dude. Like what?
Yeah. So have any of you ever been to a live event
Nope.
for them? What'd you go to?
I was in
I gotta move
2019.
back
I was in 2019 finals in Detroit. Same one as you went to, I believe.
Yeah, we both went to that.
Yeah,
That was 2019.
that one
It was
was
good.
so sick. I remember I got a picture with Captain Flowers too.
Nice. Yeah, I met him
was
too
dope.
there. It was cool.
I'm pretty sure I even watched your 1v1 against Forrest within.
Yeah. That's my subtle flex. My low key.
Wait, it was in
flex for-
Detroit?
Yeah.
Yes, it was in Detroit. It was in 2019 at Little
He's
Caesars
visibly
Arena.
hogging.
So yeah,
could've been there.
they did this like tailgate event outside of the arena where they had all the teams had all these different tents
was
and
so
stuff set
hot.
up. It was like 90 that day. It was horrible.
We were cooking.
Yeah, and everyone was cooking for sure. And they had like a live like show stage event where basically they did like has anyone listened to The Dive? That's like a Zale who else?
Zale,
It's
I think it was Jat at the time.
Zale
and
Kobe, yeah, is on
I think
it.
I heard that.
And it's their podcast. They did that like live, and they did like some other like events and stuff. And one of them was they did like 1v1s against like streamers and pro players and stuff like that. And because it was basically someone was coming out saying like, okay, like we're doing trivia questions to go like 1v1 people, who wants to answer them? And I remember this because I was with Zach, your guys' coach, and he was saying them, and he's just like, dude, just go answer them. And I'm just like, I don't really want to. He's just like, there's no way you don't know them. I was like, all right, fine. So I go up there, and then they were like, okay, name 3 Vistayan champs. And I was just like, oh, easy. Zaire, Rakan, Rengar is one of them too.
yeah.
And it was like, boom, got it. And I got to go up there, and I went backstage, and I met it was Tyler One was back there.
Tyler won.
Yeah, I met.
I fought him the other day, man.
Yeah, Mo Yasuo was back there, and Forest Within. So it was like the 3 of them are standing back there, and I got to play against. I got 1v1 Forest Within on Vel'Koz and
Did
stuff.
you pick to 1v1 him? Or
No, they just kind of like threw
they-
me with
they
them.
just
But
kinda-
I had heard of him before I went through, because that was when he was just Kindred streaming, and like
Oh,
that
yeah.
was really
Yeah.
and like that was his whole thing. So anyways, yeah, no, I 1v1'd him, but they had like these like desktop setups, and it was like 90, so everyone was so sweaty, and it was like outside. It was so hard. Me and him were both just like, I can't like
Keycaps
it's-
from melting.
Yeah, it's
Like,
so
it's
it's
over,
so
man.
hard to play outside, but I like barely won with some like fadeaway shot. Zach has the video of it, so if you ask him, for it,
Oh,
you
there's
can-
like an actual video. Of you
yeah,
playing. That's cool.
he took it like in the audience there,
cool.
but yeah, I'll say that at
2019
least,
was
so.
such a good such a good year for the like esports
Yeah.
competition in general. It had such a cool storyline with like Clutch going through the like gauntlet run to make worlds in NA, knocking out
TL's,
TSM.
quadruple crown, I think, at that point.
I think that was their fourth year of dominance. Then there was also like 2019 G2, the best Western team of all time, which I will argue until the end of my days is the second coming of Moscow 5, the one Western European
Well, we've got
specifically
FlyQuest
team.
now, so.
With NA talent including Spica, Winsome kinda.
Yeah.
List kind of stops there.
Yeah. Impact's here. We can bring Impact.
Grandpa Impact.
Grandpa Impact. We love him. So, all right. So I guess speaking of that too. So if you watch pro play right now, do you have a favorite pro player or anyone that you like to watch? I mean, even just entertainment wise. Yeah.
I just Faker in general because when I first started playing League, I got into like the esports scene kind of, and I was like, I'm part Korean, and I was like, I wonder like how like America and Korea and like other countries do it, and I learned like Korea does like really well. So like, I'm gonna like watch like a bunch of like Korean players and streamers and stuff, and I like found Faker, and I was like, this is like so cool and stuff. And actually, I went to the LOL Park in Korea. Like,
you were showing pictures of that.
Yeah, that was
it's
like
really cool.
really cool, and I got some keychains from there. It was
Nice.
like, and I was like 1 or 2 days, like they would have had a game and stuff, but I had to leave. Like, and I was like so sad at
That's
that.
rough.
But it was like I love Faker, like the
Who doesn't?
unkillable demon king.
Unkillable Demon
like,
King.
Yeah.
Yeah, we love Faker. So
Honestly, my favorite pro player right now in LCS.
you could
Probably-
be any region. So, but I mean, about LCS, if you want to stick to LCS, it's good too.
Yeah, right now Double Lift, because there was like a competition between Double Lift and Prince, I think. And what's so cool about, like Double Lift's like, I don't think he's like the best ADC ever. He's like a little wash, but I mean, he's going crazy right now, the most kills. What he's doing right now is he's actually extending most of these games so he could get more kills to go on Prince. So I love that.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Like, what a Sigma, man. What a Sigma. Really go for that.
I'll have to say, if I'm trying to learn, I'm probably going to watch like Canyon or something as a jungler. But if I'm trying to be entertained, I'm watching someone like Bo or Yankos, because those two are just like...
Yeah, I love
coin
Yankos.
flippers.
Yeah.
Dude, watching Bo's streams, that guy he will permanently be fighting and permanently be winning. And it's just like, how? If I do that, I'm getting flamed by 3 people and like getting called all sorts of things I can't say on air.
Yeah.
Like, how does he just win when he does this?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. I think it's so much fun because like I feel like the draw on like a lot of pro players is some people like pro players that are just like, oh, this person's just insane. Like they're constantly like cracked out of like in all their plays, or just they're just very funny off the rift and just like they bring like their personality into the game like to an extent. So I think those rock a lot. I think if I've got like a roll with one, you mentioned Impact earlier. Like I've watched Impact since I was in high school, and like he's insane. Is the top die, the original of it. But I think one of my other favorites too was Khan from SKT, and I think 2015 played on that. It was the biggest reason why is like how like it's normal now in top lane, like if someone steps up for a minion, you want to fight him for it and like do it.
Yes.
He invented that. Yeah, like that was basically
you want to invent that?
That was not like a huge thing of like when basically people were farming under turrets and stuff like that, he would trade your HP every time like you'd step up for stuff, and everyone's like, this guy is a monster, and like you couldn't play for it. And yeah, he just like he played so much Rumble and like things like that. And like,
Rumble's perfect for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Camille was terrifying.
Yes,
too.
yeah, like
he was the best top of the world.
He
in my
was
opinion for a while.
Absolute monster for a while, and
His
that
story
was,
is sick too.
Yeah, exactly. I think .esports has a video, or was it
G-Bay.
G-Bay. I was gonna say it's Dot or G-Bay. It's one of the
G-Bay
two of
video
those
on it was a
channels,
banger.
Yeah, it's really good.
The lore for like this, there's like Worlds or like the last Worlds or something. It's like that was so cool. Or it's like they build up for like everything. And
Oh
it's, like,
yeah, I was gonna say, my
Cinderella
God,
story.
the
So cool.
the Deft Faker storyline,
Yeah.
I
That was
think
crazy.
is like. I've been following esports for literally like a decade now, and I have never seen a more like perfect narrative than that.
Movie
Like,
material.
I know, yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
The build up they showed like right before finals of like like the show starts now or something with like the two of them in like hotels and stuff. That was like insane.
We were doing a watch party at the arena, and I've never been so in tuned.
Yeah.
I made a $40 bet with I lost, but no, it is what it is.
Yeah, trust me, I was rooting for T1 that whole time
Yeah.
too.
Didn't I think there was like one streamer who got a tattoo of like T1 winning.
yeah.
The T1 2022 champs.
Yeah. Oh, that was
That
the
sucks.
funniest thing.
Well,
Yeah, for sure. So I guess, speaking about all these crazy events and stuff. So if you've watched at all like a history or any of these other series and stuff, is there any series you've watched that you're like, I wish I was there for that? I think that's my next question to you. If any like pro series you've ever seen highlights from or anything like that, what's like something you wish you could go back to and just, be like, want to be there for that?
2019 G2 versus SKT either time.
That was in my picks as well.
Or MSI, either of them.
Yeah.
Those were both such
I agree.
great series.
The semifinals G2 SKT was crazy.
Those were better than finals in either of those events.
Yes.
Because finals for, I don't know how much you two watched MSI in 2019 or Worlds. In MSI, that was the year that Liquid beat IG and made finals against G2 and got the fastest finals in international history.
It was tragic.
With G2 winning a sub 20-minute game.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then there was, that's definitely better against SKT. That one was crazy. And the other one was at Worlds that same year, rematch. That one was the one that had the crazy, like, G2 was about to lose. Perks came in on Yasuo and, like, killed everyone. And it was, like, to the point of 3 separate mini fights happening. All got played perfectly correct by G2 to be able to win the fight and save the game and win. And it was so good. And then G2 went to World Finals against FPX, was completely like out of gas, just decided not to ban Lee Sin 3 games in a row, get owned by it every game and just lost.
Yeah.
To put on a tier list, like, what is your favorite World Series, like 1 to 3? Like, do you
I'm
think?
going to say that's number 1. I'm going to say probably SKT and was it Rocks or Coup Tigers?
So Rocks Tigers.
Tigers.
It was Coup Tigers the
That
year
was-
before, but
one.
that was. You ever seen the Prey Ash arrow where he does the cross map to stop the Echo TP? That's that
cool.
series.
Oh,
That was so cool.
That is in
That's sick.
20. Adventurism Austin. That was he was at that.
Oh,
he was at
That's
that
cool.
series, and that is so insane. Like that's something crazy.
With the Ash arrow plate, wasn't it like he stopped his like
He stopped his
recall?
back. to
Yeah,
start
and then
teleporting.
TP, and then he
Yes.
moved a little, and that was what
and
like.
then TP, then he got hit by it. Yeah. It was crazy. I mean, that series was also insane because that was the first time that like Zyra support was crazy, and they broke out MF support as the counter to it because the double tap would one shot the plants, and that was like unheard of, and no one had picked it in the entire Worlds until this series, and it was just like
They were cooking.
completely changed up, and then they subbed in Ambition, I think, on Nidalee. Was it Ambition? I don't remember who it was.
It was Ambition was in on Nidalee. It was an accidental pick though.
Oh,
They
okay.
didn't. They meant to ban it. I remember it was in comms. It was something like the coach was like, "I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We completely forgot the Nidalee,"
just
and he was
farmed.
just like, "Can we pick it? You haven't played the Nidalee." And he's like, "Yeah, I can play it." Because Ambition was the one who played the more like tank junglers and
Yes,
stuff. And they
yeah.
had, I think it was Peanut or someone.
Yeah, I think
who
they subbed
was
Peanut out.
more the aggressive jungler player for the team. And then Ambition was like, "Sure." And then he just absolutely steamrolled the game on Nidalee. It was just an absolute
crazy.
banger.
Cool.
So yeah, that was so cool. I always love talking about these, but I think we've done quite a bit of League of Legends talk now for the podcast at least. And I think as we get to like the last 15 minutes here to talk about stuff, let's talk some Western stuff and leave some things for around KZoo here. And I guess how everyone's, year's been so far. So yeah, how's the year been? How's first going? Because you two are both freshmen.
Yeah,
and
I still don't know my way around this campus, man. Like, I'm
Honestly,
having a heck of a time trying to even get to the Font building. Like
you found this place.
I
though,
found
so
it
that's
somehow.
You managed to
but-
find the office of WIDRFM.
Yeah,
89.1.
89.1 WIDRFM. Thank you, Jay.
Well, other than that, I think Western is a very fun school. Originally, I was actually gonna go to Michigan Tech up north, but they put me on hold and they said like pretty much go to Western for a year and come back to us. But now the longer that I'm here, I think I'm just gonna stay here.
Yeah.
like this school's awesome. So
Yeah. Don't want to do it. So how about you, Alexis?
I love Western. It's like really cool. My dad actually wanted me to go to state with it.
yeah.
And he was so pushy on it. And I was like, I don't want to. Like Western looks like so much better for me, like a better fit and stuff. And I made the right decision. Where I liked it here a lot, and like all the teachers are great because I had some health issue like towards the end of the last semester, and it was like I had to miss like 4 weeks of class, and the teachers all like really accommodating with it, like really amazing. I just send them an email and it's like, oh yeah, it's like here's the stuff you can do, and like one of my teachers like put a paper like on hold for a bit. So like I had more time to like complete it. And it was great. Like I love Western.
That's nice. That's maybe the biggest lie your high school teachers will ever tell you about, like, oh, when you get to college, you know, the teachers
it's hardcore, man.
Yeah.
and then the professors are just like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Like you just have to reach out. That's like I think that's the biggest message. You just have to reach out to them.
I had a professor cancel class once because he wanted to go get Jimmy John's.
Yes.
He was like, I'm really craving a sub. So honestly, we're gonna do a 10-minute lecture, and I'm gonna go over to Jimmy John's. And I was like, I respect it. I'd personally say go to Jersey Giant instead. But you know what? Sure, good for you.
That's for you.
Jerseys go hard. All I'm saying.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess first year's going through so far. So I guess let's jump back to your majors again. And I guess. What do you want to do with it? Or what are you thinking to go for? I mean, I'm not telling you to figure out your life plan. I've changed my major 4 times and I'm graduating this semester. So, I'm not asking you being like, what's the 5-year plan?
Honestly, I could just be like a freelance developer. I could work for Riot. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh God, you're in CS?
Yeah.
My condolences.
It's going to get rough. I mean, as a freshman, it's super easy.
Yeah.
But especially around the end of sophomore year and junior, I got to take like Calc 2 and stuff. And it's going to get tough. So I'm going to be putting Mordalt for a while. It's tough. Other than that, I think I'm committed. I took a couple CS classes in high school even. And, I know the basics. So I think it'll be really easy to just slide into. I mean, everyone says it's really bad, but like I think I can transition into it pretty well.
It's definitely a little rough, but it's a good program. So what about you, Jay?
So I'm in the same program.
Yes, me and Jay are in the same major. I have to point that out. So
I'm probably going to just look to start like a digital marketing like firm, agency, whatever you want to call it, because I've seen like this might be considered a little rude to say, but a lot of the ones around here just kind of suck at what they do. Like I'll be looking at a website for like a restaurant and I'm like, this website absolutely blows. Yeah, and I see at the bottom, it's like created by this group, and I click on it and they're like, starting at $3,000 a site. And I'm like, oh my God, I can make you better for $150 and a brewski.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. It is so much. Yeah, it's so much cheaper.
Yeah, I'm just going to start with local and then start working in more and more places.
Yeah. Consulting is as someone who's doing that right now, it's definitely a lot of work, but you are right. You look at a lot of stuff and you're like, no way you got away with that. But what about you?
I want to be a clinical psychologist with it, and then potentially like open up my own firm for like helping out, because I just think like learning like about how people work and like why they make decisions, all sorts of other stuff is like really interesting, and like I want to pursue that in the future. And like I also want to help people, because like I think therapy is like amazing, and like it helps you work through so much that like more people should honestly like start like going to it, because it can really like benefit your life. And I think that's also a job in the future. I know it's like not going to be like taken by a robot, because like who wants to go into like a room and then talk to a robot while they're recording and try and be like, like it's like you probably have this. I mean, it can be helpful, but like it's still much better like talk to a person about it.
You can treat like league players.
It
takes one to know one.
It is definitely better to go into a room and talk to a couple people like we're doing right now on WIDRFM.
9.1.
Just like drop a link like when I start playing League and Ranked, it's like, hey, do you need help if you're playing League?
Feels a little targeted.
Add your teammate, hey, you might want to come to my clinic.
Podcasts are really just group therapy in a way, so I mean, we get that. But no, that's all awesome. I'm really excited for that, and it's stick to it. I think some good stuff there. But I mean, honestly, now that we got the serious segments away, I get some small things. So I always like to dive into people's student texts that like you go around on campus and you're like, oh, this is like this is like what you got to do here and all that stuff. So. This one is at least like, what's your best study or sleep spot on campus? Because I know everyone's like always scoping out like a good nap spot. So that's
okay. In the Sangren Hall, those like private offices on the very top of the building.
Yes.
I just get in one of those, lock the door, and put my head down. So no one can come in. It's my room now. I own it. It's my top island.
Top island.
There's some rooms in the business college that just like never get used, and they'll just leave the door open, and you can just go in there and just like fall asleep for a couple hours, and then wake up, and then like maybe there'll be a professor staring at you weird, but like odds are not.
Yeah, my hard part is always like I want to find an outlet and like somewhere. I need like kind of the 2-for-1 because the hard is like you got to trade off. You're like, do I get the uncomfy chair and the outlet or other it? So my go-to is always like the computer lab in Hayworth and like those 4 chairs that line like right in front of the front desk. No one
right
ever
there.
sits in those. Those are really comfy. And you're with an eye shot of with a charger. But what about you?
Oh, I don't like really take naps like between classes and stuff. It's like usually it's like I just do all the work like to my classes and stuff, and then afterwards like I'll take a nap just like in my dorm room because like I've learned to like work with no sleep whatsoever. So
You're
like
not for study spot, I guess, if you're not.
Hopefully you live on campus too.
yeah, I mean I live on campus like in the dorms, which I mean luckily like my floor isn't loud until like you get really late at night and a few people doing karaoke really badly.
You playing League of Legends.
Oh yeah.
That's to drown it out, yeah.
My roommate will like look at me. It's like, are you okay? I'll be like, I'm playing League. And she's like, no, like, are you okay? Like, I hear you just screaming and cursing.
It's normal.
Fine.
I'm calming. So yeah, awesome. So those are some good ones for sure. I guess that like just to broaden back from that question, what's just like your favorite place on campus? Discounting the WMUEsports arena with 46 PCs and a spectator experience.
Sangren Hall because you can get sushi. In the cafeteria.
Yeah.
You get sushi in quite a few places on campus, but Sangren's a cool. It's definitely the newest, not excluding like the student center. It is the newest like building. So.
Discounting the esports arena and of course the recording studio here at 89.1. Probably the business college for me, just because that's where I literally spend all my time on campus. If I'm not there, I'm either at the esports arena or at the dining center with friends, because I just don't have classes anywhere else anymore. I'm so grateful for that fact. I really disliked. The worst was having, when I lived in Valley 1, having a class in Brown Hall. The 30-minute walk. The 30-minute walk in the snow, uphill both ways. Completely nude. Like
we talked about this last time, that Western's one of the few campuses where it's the freshman 15's an inverse. You lose 15 when you come to campus because there's so many hills.
I did not find that effect to occur to me because my first semester on campus was 2020. And everything was online, so I walked from my dorm to the VDC, from the VDC to my dorm, and that was all I did each day. And that was also when I was discovering all of the joys of unlimited eating at the VDC, and I'm like, well, I mean, I don't want to buy snacks, that'll cost extra money, so I could just eat more here.
Just load up,
and then I'd be like 15 plates deep, and I'm like, man, this is why obesity rates are so high.
St. Green is the best. I love sushi like so much. But it's like I would get sushi like once a week just because like it tastes like
It's
so
so
good.
expensive.
It is
$10 for a little
expensive.
thing of sushi. I mean, it's good.
It is.
Yeah, but it's like it's nice to have like sushi because you're like, I don't know. I also love the wasabi too, and I like love like feeling like my mouth is on fire.
Is that your favorite on-campus food?
Yes.
Yep.
Listen, hold, pause. I have a question for that. We're getting to that. We're getting to that. I don't want you to explode into that yet because I know Jay is a known foodie in the esports community, and I have a question teed for you. Right. So for that for later. But yeah, like I think honestly, I love the Miller fountains. I think that place is so cool. I honestly just had like a surreal. It's one of those like this is like my old person moment of like last, like it was like a couple months ago when we could see the sun and there wasn't snow and ice everywhere. I just like went and just read by like the Miller fountains, and it was just surreal. I was like, wow, this is what it's like when you don't play League of Legends. You just like, you get to go outside and see the sun, and
when you have a life,
yeah, like listen to
when
fountains.
Grass has been touched.
Yeah, it's wonderful there. So I love it there so much. But okay, all right, I will jump to this one for Jay though, really quick. So this one is sort of a game, I guess, and it's more of a little bit of a question. And feel free to chime in on this. I want your input too, because I know Jay is going to have some passionate opinions, but you got to match that energy. Okay. So I am going to give you some types of food, and I need you to give me the best Kalamazoo place for for the type of food. I'm in the mood for something, and I'm gonna need to get there.
I grew up around here. I'm ready for
I know we can do Kalamazoo, like Portage area, like nearby, like to Western, and we can
I'll
just
do
go
like
for
within
there.
a 20-minute radius.
Yeah, within like 20 minutes for sure. But I guess I'm gonna rapid fire him just around the corner. But all right, I want pizza. Where am I going?
Bilbo's.
Oh, that place was super good.
Cottage Inn.
Cottage Inn.
Cottage Inn's
Okay,
good.
Cottage Inn's good
Cottage Inn's
too.
probably best for takeout. I'd say Bilbo's best for sit-in. Blaze if you want a really thin one. I know you're not a Blaze enjoyer. So.
I'm not a Blaze enjoyer. I don't like they put way too much cornmeal on it.
Yeah,
hate it.
I agree. I agree.
Bilbo's
I
rocks
agree.
though. Always shout out the local places first. Yes.
There's also Bimbo's downtown, which is really
Yes,
good.
yeah.
That one's really good if you want a really thin pizza.
I'm a big Urbelli's fan.
Urbelli's is really good.
I love Urbelli's, but all right, sandwiches.
Jersey Giants.
Correct.
Red Robin.
Red Robin for
The egg,
sandwiches.
the egg, like sandwiches or burgers? We're talking sandwiches.
Ooh, no burger sandwich. Just strictly sandwiches.
Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's. Okay, there are a lot of Jimmy John's.
Sorry.
Jimmy John's is just worse than Jersey Giants. I'm gonna be real
I would
with
say
you.
Bilbo's again. Bilbo's
Yeah,
sandwiches,
Bilbo's sandwiches are really good,
Also
yeah.
good as well. But
Same with their
anything for
bellies.
you?
I don't really know like the names of the restaurants.
Well, these are all good recs then. Yeah.
Yeah, I've just been eating at the VDC because I don't have a car. Dude.
We can
I just
go
eat
to
McChickens,
we can
man.
go and get Jersey Giants after this.
Jersey Giants. Is so
Solve
good. I've
this.
been thinking about going there. I might actually go. They're only open until like 9 though, aren't they?
We can go after
Oh,
this.
we can get there in time then. Oh,
Yeah.
So
We'll do that
do
before
that.
practice.
if everyone
All right.
doesn't know about Jersey Giants, please go to this place.
They have like,
It's-
you know how Subway has like fake footlongs? Yeah, they have like 18 inchers at Jersey
yes,
Giants.
they're massive. Like
They are actual Giants, and they
Yeah.
are actually like good, fresh, cold cuts and all that, and it's actually really good.
really good quality
That sounds really
stuff. So, all right, keep running with this. Late night food.
Popeyes.
Gotta
Popeyes,
say,
yeah.
Popeyes, because we just went and did
Yeah,
that.
Popeyes is so
Two
good.
fellas is obviously the answer
Oh,
for
two
around
fellas.
here.
Two fellas.
Yeah.
Easy.
Campus
Two fellas
Walk
for
is
sure.
another good one. That's hit or miss, but generally it's hit for me. There's also, I believe, K Buenos, which is right by campus as
Yeah,
well.
I love K
which is
Buenos.
also pretty
K
good
Buenos,
for
K
late
Buenos.
night.
They got the horchata. That's the
Yeah.
the
I once
rice
had
one.
I think it was a tostita. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like yay big, or like the size of my palm of my hand.
tostada.
Yeah, I tried to take a bite out of it. It was a rock, so that was an unfortunate miss. But other than that, yeah, I literally threw it on my desk and it cracked. So
God, yeah. K Bonus has got some killer nachos and stuff.
yeah,
that's
their
good,
nachos
but
go so hard.
and anything else you or two
No.
fellas just a lock
Just two
in?
fellas.
Yeah.
Yep.
Two,
Come through.
two fellas for sure. All right, breakfast joints.
Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Breakfast at Tiffany's, yeah.
I am obligated to say that place because I am a relative of the owner, but I also just love the place.
Yeah.
I'd
It's
say
so
Denny's
good.
or IHOP.
No,
No, no. Jay's
I'm
gonna
kidding.
fight
I'm
him.
kidding. I'm kidding.
We have
You
some
do not
killer
go to
breakfast
Denny's.
spots,
You
right?
end up at Denny's. You do not go to Denny's.
I'm kidding. Breakfast.
Crow's Nest is also a really good
What's some
option.
breakfast?
Crow's Nest is
I'm trying to
great.
think.
Anna's.
Anna's is like
Crow's
one of the
Nest.
best rated.
They have
breakfast places.
insanely good juices.
Juices.
Yeah.
Maybe like $8 though, aren't they?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I
too
get them
much.
like once, and then I cry about the fact that I got one. I also had
exactly.
a breakfast lasagna from there once, and that was an interesting experience.
yeah.
I would recommend you try it at least once.
It seems good. All right, and then we'll close out this last one. Chicken, just any type.
Popeyes.
Yeah.
Popeyes for a
Popeyes.
sandwich, turbo chicken.
Are
if
you-
you
I
want
was about to
something
say,
else.
are you forgetting
I have to mention turbo chicken. I've been grinding out my weekly quest there. Go each week, try the special.
Quest.
Yeah, I gotta get my weekly rep reward for going in.
Yeah, Turbo Chicken, I have to like
Goes
tell
hard.
the backstory on Turbo Chicken because like this place is very near and dear to our hearts because it like just opened over in Portage, I think like less than a year ago.
Yeah.
It's very new. And because I just came back from like a trip from Nashville, Tennessee. And no, it wasn't in Nashville. I came back from Texas. But regardless, I had some like Nashville hot chicken out when I was in Texas. And I was like, oh, I need like hot chicken now. I'm having a craving again for it. And I'm looking around. I'm like, there is nowhere that sells hot chicken. And then I just saw, I'm like, Turbo Chicken. What's this place? It just opened like the month I was looking it up.
Nashie.
And I went there and they have a Nashville hot version of their chicken. And it's so good.
They are really good.
Yes, it is on par. I'll say it out there. See for yourself. Turbo Chicken gives Chick-fil-A and Popeyes run for their money on the
open
chicken
just for you.
sandwiches. Yeah.
Chick-fil-A is absolute like
Overrated.
Yeah.
like what can you get at Chick-fil-A that you can't get somewhere else better? Fries, go to Five Guys.
Yeah.
Chicken tenders, go to literally basically anywhere else that has chicken tenders, but let's go for turbo chicken here. Sandwich, go to Popeyes. Like, it's not hard. They're overrated and they're closed one day of the week. So like get owned on a Sunday.
So awesome. So take those recs and run with them, everybody. I think that was a lot of good stuff to go through. So I guess the last couple questions as we wrap up here are just going to be some more stuff about the team and how things are going. So at least for you as individuals, whether it be in the team, on the Rift, whatever your solo queue, anything like that, what are your goals for this year as far as league goes? It doesn't have to be just like I want to hit X rank. It could just be like I want to just like grow my champ pool. I want to get better.
For me, as the top laner of WMUEsports, I hope to become the successor of Div 2 Don, aka Sean. He's my inspiration and the GOAT.
We love you, Sean. Shout out.
Yep, shout out.
For me, it is hitting X rank. It's D3.
Yeah.
I peaked in D5, D4 when it went from one to the other back in the day in like season 8. And that was when I was the best at the game, and I was in a horrible place mentally and all sorts of stuff. And I haven't been able to hit that rank since. I hit D4 in the preseason, but some people count that, some people don't.
Yeah.
I really want to hit it again this season because I want to be able to show that I can hit a new peak. Because thinking back and being like, yeah, my 16, 15-year-old self in high school was the best version of me for League of Legends, like that kind of blows.
Yeah.
I'm a competitive team. It's like that guy couldn't even talk to women without not even fumbling the bag, but literally spiking it into the ground.
Harassment.
Don't worry, you still do that.
Oh no.
Harassment.
No, it's a roast like that.
No, it's mandatory. I get slandered at least once a month.
It's true. Yeah.
Daily quota.
Yeah, for sure. But all right, goals for you.
I want to get plat 1 at least.
Okay.
Or like diamond, because like every season I've gone up 1 rank. So I like want to try to do that. For right now, I'm just suffering.
Yeah, for sure. But just putting in those hours, putting in the effort, actually getting there. So yeah. So I guess for some good goals set ahead. The last thing I have is just one thing about the team. And if Aiden, you'd be so kind to explain the basis for this question. What's your favorite Zach Meridian PowerPoint so far? You gotta give some scope, Aiden. Gotta give some scope, Aiden, to what Zach's PowerPoints are.
I mean, it's pretty low budget. Pretty low budget. The work, it's honest. The work is honest. All right.
It ain't much, but it's honest work. Yeah.
It's pretty basic stuff. I know like 90% of it. The one thing I did take from it though, one thing I did learn was a bunch of Herald plays we could go for. And I had no idea that minion waves get stronger as like they're scaled with the team's average level.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That was pretty cool to me. But and I think another thing he put on there that I loved was Ban Fiora, and I loved it.
Yep.
So,
Yeah,
that was
a good one. That's a good one for sure. So yeah, I guess so. I'll give some frame real quick. Yeah, Zach, our coach, likes to use PowerPoints a lot for teaching stuff, and it's kind of his it's like his calling card
on a laptop.
Really, really scuffed PowerPoints that he likes making. So I guess Lex, you can go next.
Oh, so Jay already knows which PowerPoint I like. So there's this, so I like his PowerPoints in general. I think they're like really good. But there's this one PowerPoint on a slide, and it was like talking about jungler and leashing, and had a picture of like a jungler and then a dog on a leash.
Yeah, that's what it was. I was just trying to think of
and then I literally, it's like sitting there like trying not to laugh, like biting my tongue.
I look over her and I see her going.
Like I'm just thinking about Jay, and I'm like, because I was like so close to like bursting out laughing and looking at Jay. I'm like, so you're the dog on the leash now?
Gotta hold it back sometimes, yeah. But
honestly, the fights he tries to get into are like, there's a reason he has a coin flip
We start
jersey.
barking in game if Jay goes for a crazy
yes,
fight.
the bark call is good. Yeah,
I've tried.
Or when he screams monkey.
Monkey is behind. I tried to find it. I can't find the picture of it right now, but there's a legendary screenshot from my favorite. Oh my god, I just found it.
Okay.
So it is from
Well, no, not everyone at home can see it, but
it's
I
from
guess
2021. I'm not showing you guys either, so get owned.
I gotta just
From 2021,
we'll see it after.
when he first stepped in after Sting stepped away from the team mid-season, and I was on the academy roster that fall. He gave us a great presentation. What to expect? I'ma do my best, all right? I'ma be with y'all 100%. Lots more accountability. Winning C-Lol, easy. Then he also had a slideshow. Check over Malphite. Cross out over Soraka over Seraphine. Picture of Rammus. We only play Chad champs. Any questions?
Get closer to your mic. Yeah, I was gonna say talking to your mic. Yeah, you're good. I was just gonna say I know it's like a little away from it. I don't know how well it's picking it up, but
but that was probably my favorite Meridian PowerPoint of all time because it started out with a picture of him being in Plat 4 at 81 LP, and
then him at like
it just kept cooking.
It just kept going. No, that was a really good one. I think that Malphite picture that is from one of his like one times he streamed Clash, and like I remember that because Zach wanted Malphite mid and he like flash ulted a Syndra and just missed. And like it was literally, that clip is so good. But I'll find it. It's in his Twitch clip somewhere, but that's a really good one. But hey, thanks so much everyone for joining me here today for talking on this episode.
Thank you so much for having me.
ESBN on 89.1 WIDRFM. So thanks so much for everyone here and all the work you do for help putting this podcast on. So episode 3, is there anything all y'all want to say to everyone at home before I start doing our shameless plugs?
Buff Viego.
Ban Fiora, and remember the pride of Kalamazoo.
Yeah, there you go.
Just remove, tank, engage, support.
No.
Yes.
Ban Yumi so my support can't read manga mid-game.
Yeah.
Buff Soraka, make her also a Karth Assault too. That scales with the amount of healing she's done over the entire game.
I like it. Yeah.
That's pretty balanced.
Yeah.
That's an
Good
August
angle
champion.
for sure. So, hey, thanks so much. So, hey, if you got this far in the podcast, thanks so much for listening. We have episodes that come out, hopefully, I think every Monday they've got coming out right now. And what's your next game that's coming?
Tomorrow, Ball State.
It's not going to air in time. So, do you know after that?
So after that, I do not remember who it is, but I remember that it is a game that we are going to be able to be winning.
So it's on Wednesday.
It will be on Wednesday. The question mark.
Wednesdays at 8 p.m. All you need to know is Wednesdays at 8 p.m.
Wednesday
Saturdays at 3
at 8
right?
p.m.
Yeah.
We are going to own them, and then that Saturday we have our bye. So we're just going to celebrate our 2-0 victory that we'll be having that Wednesday.
Hey, don't be saying
By
that.
going to Turbo Chicken.
I'm going to say
We
that.
just
I
lost
will
against
say that.
Ohio, man.
Yeah, I was
slow
gonna
down.
say.
No, we beat them.
Yeah, we gotta slow you a little bit.
And
yeah.
we gapped the final boss of Ohio.
That guy was not the final boss.
Yeah, for sure. So, hey, if you want more updates on Western Michigan esports activities, games like that, you go ahead and check out our Twitter, Instagram. That's WMUEsports on those. Or if you want to watch those games live and see the 3 here to talk today, live in action for their games. Yeah, it's like I said, Wednesdays, 8 p.m., Saturdays at 3 p.m. on Twitch at the WMUEsports. You can find us there for all the action there. So, thanks so much for everybody listening. And you all have a good rest of the day. So,
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
bye, everyone. Bye-bye.